But I'm younger than you, so it's not right for me to be your father, right? Dachin waved his hand and said with a smile. President Lin said that as long as there is true love, gender doesn't matter, let alone age? Angkor. Why did President Lin say that again? He is everywhere. Although I'm older than you, as long as you really like my mother, I can bear it. Angkor. TMD. I can't stand it. I've already made up my mind. From now on, I'll call you Dad. You call me brother, and we'll have our own way. We. Dachin put one hand on Angkor's shoulder, and the other hand on Angkor's shoulder. On Lu Ma's shoulders. It's a family that loves each other. Greater than. Angkor. At this time, Dachin opened his arms to Angkor. Angkor love. What are you doing? 27, give me a hug. Dachin said childishly, let me feel the long-lost father's love. Bang, Dachin has hugged Angkor tightly. Angkor. Dachin's face was intoxicated. Is this what father's love feels like? This is father's embrace. It's so warm, so comfortable, so nostalgic. It feels like hugging my girlfriend same. Well, a little impulsive. Angkor was startled. Don't be impulsive, I'm a man. Of course not, after all you are my dad. Dachin laughed. By the way, speaking of girlfriends. Dad, I'm going to marry my girlfriend, can you help me arrange the dowry? Not much, just 500,000 yuan, plus a wedding house and a car, and write my mother's name. After the matter is completed, I will give you have 2 grandchildren. Angkor. F*K. Since you don't speak, then I will take it as your default. Dad. How nice of you. Haha. Dachin laughed and let go of Angkor and pushed him. Don't hesitate, go to my mother. At this time, Lin Bifan ran out with a group of people. Excited clapping and exclaiming, together, together, together. The atmosphere is very strong. Angkor is embarrassed to death. At this moment, he really wanted to kill himself with a knife. I want to hack the bastard in front of me even more. In the end, the kind-hearted mother Lu helped him out of the siege. Don't be like this, everyone. Xiao Wu is more shy. He will be embarrassed if you continue like this. Lin Bifan waved his hand. Okay. Let's not talk about it. Let's all go back to work. What the hell is going on? Everyone gave Lin Bifan an angry look. Obviously you brought us here to join in the fun, and you still rely on us? Let's go. Go back to work. Don't disturb the young couple. Angkor. Dachin shouted. President Lin is right. Mom, I'll go back first. Dad, take good care of my mom. Angkor. Before leaving, Lin Bifan also patted Angkor on the shoulder. Xiao Wu, you can be considered as lovers and finally married. Mama Lu is a good woman, cherish it. Angkor. In the following days, Angkor and Lu Ma worked together while developing an office romance. They often go out and go in pairs, and people often see their tired and crooked figures. Dog food is scattered all over the place. Even Lin Bifan often finds time to eat dog food, eat well, and then go back to work full of energy. And the protagonist Angkor, while enduring Lu Ma's tiredness, tried to get revenge on Lin Bifan. Watching Lin Bifan become more and more moist, I felt very uncomfortable. I have to find a way to break Lin Bifan again, otherwise my thoughts won't get through. As for feng shui formation, the corners of Angkor's mouth twitched violently. The feng shui formation can't be used anymore. Every time I set up a situation, every time I step on the pit, it's poisonous. I'll think of other ways. At this moment, he noticed that some people in the company were not normal. These people often go in and out of the trading room, stay for a very long time, and look a little flustered. After going back, I picked up my phone and didn't know what to send, and I often looked around for 4 weeks, as if it was a thief. One of them was a treasurer who surreptitiously left as soon as he got off work. So, with this curiosity, he secretly followed. The other party came to a cafe and sat in front of 2 people in black suits. Angkor changed his coat, covered his face with a mask, sat behind them, and eavesdropped on their conversation. One of the men in black said, Miss Lu, to be honest, the information you have sent these days is of no use. I'm sorry for the money we gave. Miss Lu is the treasurer. Lu Kaylee smiled bitterly and said, I have tried my best, because Mr. Lin has no investment plan at all. He always asks people to help him buy and sell which stocks and securities he wants to invest in that day. Even the staff in the trading room don't know what to buy. And the transaction speed is very fast. Usually the same day I bought it and sold it the next morning. When I got the information, the other party has basically completed the transaction. The man in black. If the other party wants to invest, there must be an investment plan, and there must be a process of thinking. Otherwise, how can you make money every time? Can you get his draft or something? Lu Kaifu. I'm just an ordinary treasurer, and this thing is not something I can touch. Only 2 people can touch it. One has been admitted to the hospital, and the other is Secretary Lu Rume, who is very strict. The man in black was silent for a while. Lu Finance. Since I didn't help you, then I'll give you the money back, and treat it like we've never cooperated. The man in black. Why not? Lu Kaylee said painfully, because I feel sorry for Mr. Lin. He gave us so much, but he was not so good to me, and I betrayed him again. These days I have been suffering from. So, I don't want to do it anymore. The man in black. Impossible. If you don't continue to help us, we will leak you to Lin Bifan, and you can decide the consequences. Lu Finance shouted. No. I will cooperate with you. In this way, a small amount of finance was pinched by the other party. Then, Angkor followed a few people. It was found that they were all working with the same group of people, helping outsiders to steal Lin Bifan's investment information. However, the effect is not obvious. At this moment, Angkor was a little moved. Since I can't deal with you, then I will help outsiders deal with you. So, one night, he stopped 2 men in black who were about to leave. Wait. I want to work with you. What? Angkor wants to cooperate with me. At the headquarters of Longya capital, Zhao Tian, the Dragon King who heard the news, was shocked. Yes, Dragon King. The man in black reported. Zhao Tian fell into contemplation and frowned. You are a tomb thief. You are not good at robbing tombs and selling antiques, but you have gone to Lin Bifan's company as a cleaner. Now you are coming to me to discuss cooperation and betray the interests of Lin Bifan's company. Zhao Tian couldn't figure it out. What the hell is this guy trying to do? Angkor, what is the purpose of going to Lin Bifan company? Have you investigated it? Back to the Dragon King. There is currently none. But what? But we learned that Angkor and the original cleaning company of Lin's investment company are in love, and they are currently in love. The Dragon King Zhao Tian became interested. He is actually in love, and he is still with a cleaning agent. How does the cleaning agent look like? Is he good looking and charming? The man in black twitched. Wei Longwang, this woman looks. I don't know how to describe it. Please look at the Dragon King. The photo took a look at the mobile phone, and was shocked. Unexpectedly, the woman who fell in love with Angkor was actually an aunt in her 50s. And it looks very thick and very fat. Moreover, the other party has children, and the children are even older than Angkor. Is it true? It's true, Dragon King. The Dragon King Zhao Tian laughed loudly. Angkor, I didn't expect you to be such a person, with such a strong taste that you can even shoot an old onion. If I don't agree with you, I will obey you. Zhao Tian is really happy. Seems like a big secret. Since the other party came to the door, give me a good test to see if there is a need for cooperation. Yes, Dragon King. In Mahai City, Angkor and the 2 men in black sat facing each other. Black people ask why. Why work with us? Angkor replied. Because I want to make money. I want to make a lot of money. In Lin's investment company, I'm just a small cleaner, and I can't make that much money at all, so I choose to cooperate with you. Dragon King Zhao Tian smiled disdainfully. You, a tomb robber, will be short of money? If you walk around those ancient tombs, you can earn at least tens of millions. You can even dig up invaluable national treasures. Apparently it's not a picture. The man in black. You also said that you are just a small cleaner in Lin's investment company. You have no identity or status, so why do you help us? Angkor smiled softly. Do you think the people you are looking for are useful? Man in black. What do you mean? Angkor shook his head. I can tell you very clearly that all the people you found are useless. Not only are they useless, but now they have been exposed, because Lin Bifan is smarter than you think. The man in black. Impossible, we are very covert. Angkor. Then how did I find out? The man in black. This. Angkor. Even my little cleaner has found out. Do you think Lin Bifan, who is as cunning as a fox and has a deep city, can't see it? The man in black was speechless. Angkor sneered. If you want to know Lin Bifan, he is the rebirth. In his previous life, he had fought against Lin Bifan for more than 10 years. He tried every means, but all ended in failure. The other party is really too smart and too cunning. Careful thinking. Clever calculation. In this way, if there is a little problem or inappropriateness, it will be caught by the other party. In the previous life, I don't know how many powerful people were defeated by him. Just relying on those few employees who don't have much social experience and panic when they encounter an accident, how can they escape the other party's detection? On the other side, Dragon King Zhao Tian also fell into contemplation. Yes, how is Lin Bifan so easy to deal with? This guy is so smart. Maybe the person who bought it has already been exposed. So for so long, there has been no information. Lin Bifan is smarter, more difficult, and more unfathomable than you think. The reason why it has not been exposed so far, maybe the other party wants to put a long line to catch big fish, Angkor said again. Dragon King Zhao Tian nodded and basically agreed with Angkor. Ask him what he can do. The man in black immediately relayed the words of the Dragon King. Angkor said confidently, as long as I become Lin Bifan's confidant and the person he trusts most, I will be able to help you. The man in black. Can you do it? Of course, I have this confidence. Angkor said confidently. First of all, I am much better at acting than the people you bought, at least I won't panic when things happen. Second, my identity is a cleaner with little education, which will reduce the vigilance of the other party, make it easier to approach him, and will not cause his suspicion. Thirdly, I'm a janitor, and I can basically go in and out of each office freely without causing suspicion. The man in black nodded. It's very reasonable, but you are a small cleaner now, how can you become his crony? Angkor. This needs your help. Man in black. What help? Angkor smiled and said, tell me the list of people you bought, and then I will give it to Lin Bifan, and he will naturally become the person he trusts the most. The black face suddenly changed. What are you still hesitating about? The people you bought have already been exposed. Why don't you let me sacrifice and show the last remaining heat? Isn't this a good thing for everyone? Angkor laughed. The man in black. I can't decide this matter, I have to ask for instructions from above. Angkor smiled confidently. Please. At this time, Dragon King Zhao Tian was also considering the gain and loss of this matter. In fact, he has already leaned towards Angkor's scheme. As the other party said, these people may have been exposed, and they are of little use value. It is better to let them play their residual heat and let Angkor break into the interior. Promise him. The man in black. Our boss said, agree to your request, happy cooperation. Cooperation, happy. Angkor smiled. The man in black. Tell me your bank account number, and I will transfer the funds for this activity to you right away. If you make credit in the future, we will give you more money. Angkor sneered and transferred money to him, just to take his hand. But it doesn't matter to him, because he was originally going to deal with Lin Bifan, so what if he made some money by the way? Angkor generously revealed the bank account number and received a transfer of 500,000 in less than a moment. Happy cooperation. Happy cooperation. Both parties laughed. By the way, take the liberty to ask, who is your boss? Angkor probed. The man in black kept his secret. Angkor, my boss's identity is a secret. When you have made a great contribution, my boss will be happy, and maybe he will meet you in person. Okay. Angkor nodded, his eyes twinkling. Isn't that the sassy bag of Dragon King Zhao Tian? Every time I bring a group of black-clothed bodyguards to the market, for fear that others will not know. Are you playing mystery with me now? In the last life, he and Lin Bifan met each other, and Lin Bifan caused his family to break down. He didn't know why in this life, the Dragon King Zhao Tian met Lin Bifan so quickly, but it was a good thing for him. After all, only the Dragon King Zhao Tian has this power and can hit Lin Bifan. On the other side, Dragon King Zhao Tian was also very proud. He felt that it was a very wise decision to cooperate with Angkor. First of all, Angkor has excellent psychological quality and is suitable for being an undercover agent. People specialize in digging graves and robbing graves. They have dug an unknown number of graves, and they have seen an unknown amount of dirty things. They have a strong psychological quality and are definitely not prone to mistakes. Second, his current identity is a cleaner, and with a low identity, it is easier to approach Lin Bifan and gain the trust of the other party. Third, he is smart enough. Isn't it smart enough to discover their actions so quickly? Fourth, the current interests of the two are basically the same, both of which are to deal with Lin Bifan. Although, he didn't know why the other party wanted to deal with Lin Bifan, but changing his identity and lurking by the other party's side was definitely not for the other party's good, it was definitely not for the other party's good intentions. In this way, the basis for cooperation between the two parties has been formed. Angkor, it's up to you. I hope you don't let me down. After Angkor returned with this list, he did not find Lin Bifan directly. Instead, after careful analysis, a few people who are more likely to be exposed are selected as his sacrifice targets. I'm sorry. I have to sacrifice you for revenge. On this day, Angkor came to Lin Bifan's office in the name of cleaning. Mr. Lin, I have something I want to report to you. What's the matter, Xiao Wu? Lin Bifan, who was looking at the material, raised his head. Mr. Lin, it's like this. In the past few days, I have found that Sister Lu from the finance department, Brother Wang from the office, and Brother Zhao from the investment department are a little strange. They always sneak into the trading room and leave in a panic. After that, I played with my mobile phone, and my face was flustered, like a thief. Once, when I went to Mrs. Lu's place to clean up, the other party was startled for some reason and then scolded me. All in all, their behavior was very strange. Lin Bifan's face became serious. Xiao Wu, are you telling the truth? It's absolutely true. Angkor also became serious. Lin Bifan asked again. Why do you think they did this? Why did they become like this? Wu Zhe smiled bitterly. Mr. Lin, how could I know this? Lin Bifan said. If you tell me about this, there must be more definite evidence, or if you found something, tell me your thoughts boldly. Mr. Lin, you are really wise and wise, you can see it. I suspect. Angkor first glanced at the door, and then whispered. I suspect that they are leaking our company's transaction secrets to the outside world. After listening to this, Lin Bifan's expression was very calm. Not the slightest change. Angkor felt a little uneasy in his heart. What do you think? Give me some reaction. After a long time, Lin Bifan sighed. I didn't expect them to really betray me. Angkor was startled. Mr. Lin, so, you discovered it long ago? Lin Bifan sighed again, then took out a piece of paper. Look. Mr. Lin, this is the list of people who betrayed me, including the ones you mentioned. Angkor picked up the list and looked at it, and was immediately frightened. Good guy. Sure enough, he found out. And this list is exactly the same as the list given by Dragon King Zhao Tian, exactly the same. The Demon King of Confusion, Lin Fan, is indeed terrifying. I don't even understand. I treat them so well, give them such a high salary, and give them the best treatment. Why do they treat me like this? Lin Bifan said painfully. Mr. Lin, don't be sad. There are two-hearted people and loyal people in the world. It's not worth it to be sad for such people. They will regret it sooner or later. Angkor shared his hatred. Lin Bifan nodded his head in agreement. You're right. Every time you slaughter a dog with your righteousness, you will be a scholar with your heart. There are people who betray me, and there are people as loyal as you. Brother Wu, can you help me? Busy? When Angkor heard this, he was overjoyed. The other party calls him Brother Wu, which proves that he already values him more. Before, there was only one person who was affectionately called brother by the other party, and that person was Yi Xingchen. In the end, the other party gained the trust of Lin Bifan, soaring through the sky, and the sky is rising. Now, he's starting to go down that road too. Mr. Lin, please tell me. If I can help, I will definitely help, he said quickly. Brother Wu, can you help me investigate these traitors and collect evidence that they betrayed me, so that I can clean up them confidently and kick them out of my company? Angkor was overjoyed when he heard it. The other party entrusted such an important task to him, proving that the other party has valued him more. As long as he successfully completes the task and proves his ability, he will definitely get his favor and trust. Lin Bifan continued. This matter may be a bit difficult for you. If you think it's not possible, then forget it. I'll give him to other people. Angkor patted his chest and promised. Mr. Lin, don't worry, as long as I still have a breath, I will help you complete the task successfully. Lin Bifan nodded his head in relief and said with a smile, I knew it was right to recruit you in the first place. Angkor held his head high and looked very proud. One more thing. Mr. Lin, please say, go through fire and water, and do whatever you want. It's not that serious, this matter is very simple for you. That is. Lin Bifan blinked his eyes narrowly. The work is important, but don't leave Mama Lu in the cold. Amazing. Angkor after Angkor left Lin Bifan's office. He planned how to successfully complete this task and how to search for their evidence. For him, this matter is actually very simple. Because he cooperated with the financial masters behind these traders, and the two sides can cooperate with each other, both inside and outside. So, he immediately contacted the man in black secretly. Angkor. I have confided to Lin Bifan, and I have gained a certain amount of trust from him. The man in black. Good thing. Angkor. Now there is one thing to trouble you. Man in black. What's the matter? Angkor. Lin Bifan entrusted me with the task of collecting evidence of those traders. As long as it is successfully completed, I will definitely gain his further trust, and it will be much more convenient to do things at that time. So, I hope you will cooperate. Man in black. No problem. Then, the man in black invited the traders out again. Angkor hid in the dark and took pictures of the trader and the man in black meeting and talking. In this way, within 2 days, he collected all the evidence of the trader's mutiny and handed it over to Lin Bifan. Mr. Lin, this is the evidence I collected from following them in the past 2 days. Look, it's very strange that these people meet and talk with this man in black at different times and places. I suspect that they were bought by this man in black. As for the identity of this man in black, there's no way to know. Mr. Lin, I don't know if the evidence is enough. Enough, completely enough. I'm not sending them to jail, but finding a reasonable reason to fire them. These photos are very telling. Lin Bifan raised his head in surprise. Brother Wu, you can really do it. In just 2 days, you have found so much evidence, and I know you are a talent. Mr. Lin has won the prize. It's all your wise leader. I didn't do anything. Angkor said modestly. Haha. Don't flatter me. I didn't do anything at all. Everything is your credit. Lin Bifan laughed. However, it's good to keep this humble attitude, and the road will get wider and wider. 22. Many thanks for Mr. Lin's advice. Angkor was humble again. My heart is very high. This time, it should be trusted and reused by Lin Bifan, right? Lin Bifan's next words proved his conjecture. After I clear these traders out, I will reward you again. Now, you come with me. Let's go to a meeting, and deal with those traders together. Let them know the fate of betraying me. Angkor was even more happy. Like these meetings, he is not qualified to participate in this cleaning. But, now invited by Lin Bifan ordered an emergency meeting. In less than 10 minutes, as long as they didn't go out, they all gathered in the conference room for a meeting. In the conference room, Lin Bifan took the seat directly. Angkor was pulled by Lin Bifan and sat beside him with a very respectful look. Everyone is very surprised. Why is Angkor here? Shouldn't he be in Lu Ma's arms? However, seeing the dark-faced Lin Bifan, everyone shut up and didn't ask. After everyone arrived, Lin Bifan fired directly. I found that some people are just not greedy enough. I gave the highest salary in the industry, the most generous bonus, and the most perfect salary and leave system, but the result is not satisfied. For a little bit interests, sell our trading and investment information, and seriously damage the interests of our company. Lu Fen, Huang Zhang, Zhou Shan. Lin Bifan named him one by one, and then he stood up and said, You are leading our company's high salary, but you betray our company and betray our interests. Won't your conscience hurt? The person whose name was called panicked. Mr. Lin, I didn't. I am loyal to the company. I definitely did not betray. Lin Bifan directly used the photos. No betrayal. What do you think this is? This is a photo I took, and you all met this person at different times. Wouldn't you tell me that you and him are friends? Since they are all friends, why didn't we go together, but sneaked? Can you explain it to me? Everyone was like mourning, and they had nothing to say. Can't you tell me? Lin Bifan sneered. If you say something ugly, even if you feed the dog, they will wag your tail at you, but you all bite me back. I have never seen such a wolf-hearted person. Pack up and go now, I don't want to see you again. Mr. Lin, no, we were wrong. Give me one more chance. Once again they panicked and pleaded. I give you a chance, but who gives me a chance? Lin Bifan said angrily. Get out now, I don't want to see you again. In addition, Lu am I. You help me tell the major companies in Mahai City in the name of the Lin Group. Just say that these people betrayed the company's interests, and they were sold by me. I am dismissed, and I call on everyone to never be hired. Whoever hires them is against my Lin Group. Yes, President Lin. Lu Rume nodded and recorded it. They panicked even more, begging to be let go. However, he was kicked out by Lin Bifan. Now, please leave this, we do not welcome traitors. When the group left, the conference room was quite empty. Everyone did not dare to breathe, and the scene was very quiet and solemn. This is the first time they have seen Lin Bifan lose his temper. If you don't make a move, you will die. He dismissed them all and called on everyone not to hire them, which almost eliminated their chance to work in Mahai City. Because no company will hire them, and no one likes traitors. Moreover, the Lin Group is the top enterprise in Mahai City. Which company boss does not give some face? There is no reason to offend the Lin Group for the sake of a few ordinary people. Unless you are self-reliant, you can only leave your hometown. It didn't end well anyway. It can be said that Lin Bifan's move stunned everyone. I secretly warned myself not to do anything wrong. And don't betray. Okay, the nasty guy is gone, let's talk about another thing. Lin Bifan showed a smile. Today, the reason why I was able to discover this group of traitors is that there is one person who has the greatest contribution. This person is Angkor sitting next to me, Brother Wu. Everyone was shocked. Little Wu, he. In the surprised eyes of everyone, Angkor raised his head and raised his chest. Lin Bifan patted him on the shoulder. Don't look at him young and not highly educated, but he is the one who found the clues of the betrayal of this group of people, and then found out the evidence of their betrayal, avoiding the loss of our company. Really very good. I have always had a clear grudge, and I will let him know the end of the betrayal if he betrays me. But those who are loyal to me and those who do things for me will be rewarded greatly. So, I've decided. Lin Bifan said loudly, 1 million will be given as a reward to Brother Wu. In addition, let's mention Wu Laoyi's salary in the treatment of our regular employees. Everyone exclaimed, full of envy and jealousy. The 1 million reward, Mr. Lin is really generous. It seems that Angkor has been favored by President Lin and is about to take off. Envious. Everyone applauds to Angkor. Lin Bifan once again said loudly. Clap clap clap. Then, the meeting turned into a commendation meeting. Lin Bifan came to Angkor with a bright red commendation belt in his hand, and said solemnly, Brother Wu, please bow your head slightly, I will put it on for you. Send. Good. Angkor lowered his head. Lin Bifan took advantage of the opportunity to hang up the award belt. Angkor looked down at the commendation belt hanging on his chest, with a few sparkling characters on it, excellent advanced worker. There is also a big red flower hanging on the shoulders, which looks very bright and dazzling. This big red flower looks a little familiar. Of course I'm familiar with it, because I used to hang on Brother Yi's body. Angkor. Then, Lin Bifan took a huge medal. Brother Wu, catch it. Angkor looked down at this golden medal, with a reward of 1 million written in the middle. This medal is also a bit familiar. Of course I'm familiar with it, younger Brother Yi also took it. Angkor. Angkor looked at the big red flower on his chest and the huge medal in his hand. I don't know why, but there is always an ominous feeling in my heart. Then, of course, it was time to take pictures. With a click, the picture freezes. Lin Bifan stood on the left, wearing a beautiful brand name suit and polished leather shoes, standing there very straight, with a warm and bright smile, and at first glance he was very leader. And our protagonist, Angkor, stood on the right, wearing rustic cleaning clothes, with a more rustic red flower hanging on his shoulders, holding a huge medal in his hand, smiling like a fool. This photo was taken very well, and I hang it back next to Brother Yi's award-winning photo. Lin Bifan was very satisfied. No, it's embarrassing. Angkor felt a little ashamed. Don't refuse. You deserve it. Only by hanging it on the wall can you always inspire everyone, and hard work will pay off, Lin Bifan said with a smile. Next, the meeting broke up. After going back, Angkor almost jumped up with excitement. After working hard for so long and going through so many hardships, I finally got one step closer to Lin Bifan. This means that his chance of revenge is one more point. Lin Bifan, you must have never imagined that the person you value, the person you are close to, will be your biggest enemy. Now I'm suddenly not in a hurry to take revenge. I plan to kill you little by little. Let you have no way to go to heaven, and no way to enter the earth. Angkor thought bitterly. At this time, he received a text message from the man in black. Man in black. How's it going? Angkor. I have exposed them, and then they were fired. Because of the great merits, Lin Bifan valued me very much, called me Brother Wu, rewarded me with 1 million soft sister coins, and raised my treatment to that of regular employees. Level. The man in black. After seeing Lin Bifan, I really value you. The last person who received this treatment was Yi Xingchen. The other party has become Lin Bifan's right-hand man, and he is very respected. We hope that you can also reach his level. Angkor. That's natural, I already have a plan. Man in black. Need our help. Angkor. No need this time, I have my own plans, you wait for my good news. Man in black. Looking forward to it. After the conversation, Angkor immediately deleted all text messages so as not to leave evidence. Then, he thought about how to go further and become Lin Bifan's true confidant. Loyalty alone is not enough. Only those who are loyal and capable will be trusted by others. Just like Yi Xingchen, the god of war. The other party also became his right-hand man after helping Lin Bifan to make billions of funds. Therefore, he must show his worth and ability. His abilities are nothing more than a few: tomb robbing, feng shui, and treasure appraising. The ability of tomb robbery must not be displayed. This thing is illegal in the first place, and it can only be carried out secretly. The ability of feng shui cannot be displayed either. If the other party finds the clue, it will be miserable. So, only Janbao is left. In a previous life, Lin Bifan was interested in collecting antiques because he had too much money. It's not bad to think about it now. I can just do what I like and help him identify treasures. It is best to pick out some antique treasures of great value. He will definitely look at me differently. Angkor laughed, and he already had some calculations in his heart. On this day, he was cleaning in Lin Bifan's office, and he took the opportunity to say, Mr. Lin, many places here are empty and not very good looking. Do you want to add something? Lin Bifan raised his head. Brother Wu, what do you think would be good to add something? I think the decoration of your room, Mr. Lin, is more Chinese, so it's better to add some antique vases or old objects, which will make it look more cultural. Moreover, antiques have collection value and appreciation value, so you won't be able to buy them. Deficit. You're right. Then tell me, what should I put here? I think so. Angkor started his own performance, eloquently and professionally. Lin Bifan was surprised. Brother Wu, I can see that you are right. You seem to have done some research on this aspect. I can only say a little bit. Angkor said modestly. I didn't go to school well when I was a child, and I studied these old objects in bottles and jars all day long. After a long time, I became familiar with them. However, my parents didn't let me play this game. Said to be playing with things and dying. These are all prejudices. Anything at the top level is very good. Seeing that you are so familiar with these things, that's just right. Tomorrow on weekends, I plan to go to the old street to see if I can find something good. You go with me. See how? Lin Bifan extended the invitation with a smile. Angkor said happily, Mr. Lin, I just have time, I will accompany you. Lin Bifan was also very happy. Okay. If you find something good for me, I will definitely reward you. Angkor returned home with this good news. He lives with his best friend, Fatty Wang. The two not only played from childhood to adulthood, but also went to rob tombs together, and they have a very strong relationship. As soon as he walked into the house, Fatty Wang's voice came. You kid is finally back. I'm starving to death. Did you bring anything to eat? Can't you order takeout when you're hungry? Angkor said angrily. How can you bring the incense that you brought back in the takeaway? Did you bring it with you? Of course I bring it, it's your favorite food. A fat man quickly rushed out of the room, grabbed the things in Angkor's hands and looked at it, his mouth watering. Dongpo elbow, roasted duck with sour plum, and fat sausage. All are my favorites. Good brother, I love you to death. Stop saying disgusting words and go eat now. Okay, hee hee. The other party opened the bag and ate it. Angkor looked at this good brother who shared life and death for 2 generations, and his heart was filled with warmth. I swear in my heart, Fatty, I will not let you suffer again in this life. I will defeat our common enemy and make him lose everything. Hey, I said, you kid, why don't you want to go to work, and what you do is cleaning? When you have time, don't we dig a few graves? Isn't it sweet to dig something out of it to make money? I still can't figure out what you are doing. If I hadn't understood you as a person, I would really suspect that you were a demon and possessed by those dirty things. Fatty Wong asked while eating. Don't worry about it, I naturally have my reasons for doing it, and I won't hurt you anyway, Angkor said. Of course you won't hurt me, we have a life-threatening friendship. Fatty Wong smiled, patted Angkor's shoulder with his hand, and wiped off the greasy hands. Angkor's face was black and he was very disgusted. Don't touch me with your greasy trotters. Ah. Touch what's wrong, you won't lose a piece of meat if you touch it. The two had dinner. By the way, Fatty, let me tell you something. What's the matter? Tell me. Tomorrow, I will bring the boss of my company here, and then you will take out the good things in our store. Haha. Have you found a client? Angkor, you can do it when you're young, and you can handle it. Fatty Wong said brightly, I heard that you work at the Lin's investment company. Currently, the prodigal of the Lin's group is in charge. Others are stupid and rich. I don't think I will slaughter him severely. Angkor remembered everything that happened in his previous life and was shocked. He hurriedly warned. Don't use those fake things to fool him, people are very smart, you want to use real things. Okay. Then I'll take the real thing, and I'll sell it at a high price. Don't sell it at a high price, sell it at a discount, and pretend you don't know the value of those things. Angkor, are you crazy? Fatty Wong jumped up and looked at Angkor in shock. You just asked me to come out with the real thing, and let me sell it at a loss. This is something normal people can do. Are you sick? Angkor smiled bitterly in his heart. He knew he would be scolded by the fat man, but he had to do it. More than 99.99% of the old objects and antiques sold on this old street are fake, and they are all fake and real to fool people. If you walk down this street for a day, if you can find a good thing, you are awesome. He brought Lin Bifan here to show his talent and value, and then gain his trust. Only by letting him buy good things first, and feel that he has earned it, can his own value be highlighted. Otherwise, after shopping around, I didn't buy anything, or what I bought was fake, and I couldn't show my talent at all, that is to avoid loneliness. So, after thinking about it, he decided to sacrifice a little bit of his own interests. Angkor said seriously. I'm not sick, I'm very awake now, this matter is very important to me. Fatty, please help me with this. After this is done, I will pour a few more tombs and earn back what I have lost. How? Fatty Wong sat down again and waved his hand. Okay. Who told you to be my best friend? Who I won't help you. But let me state first, I don't sell those big guys. It's enough to take those small objects out. Angkor nodded. For him, taking out those small items would only cost him a few million at most, and he could fully afford it. If 3 millions can make him one step closer to Lin Bifan, it is definitely worth the money. Besides, you have to pretend that you don't know me, do you understand? I said. Angkor. Fatty Wong frowned. What on earth are you trying to do? Don't worry about it. Just do as I say. All in all, I won't hurt you. Angkor said silently in his heart. Fatty, let me bear this matter alone, you can be happy fat man. On the second day, Angkor met Lin Bifan in casual clothes at the gate of the old street. He was not alone, but came with a stunning beauty. From a distance, they looked like a pair of golden boys and girls. Mr. Lin, you came so early. Brother Wu, you are also very early and look good. I'm here to introduce you to someone. Lin Bifan pulled Song Yuqing out and said, "This is my girlfriend Song Yuqing, the president of Song's hospital. She heard that we were here and was very interested, so I bring her with me." Angkor looked at Song Yuqing, the stunning beauty in front of him. In her previous life, she was the fiancée of a young genius doctor, but she was robbed of love by Lin Bifan. Among all the women of Lin Bifan, Song Yuqing is the least famous and the most low-key. However, she helped Lin Bifan manage everything silently behind her back, and was the most important woman for Lin Bifan. "Mr. Song, hello. My name is Angkor, you can just call me Xiao Wu. To be honest, you look so beautiful, like a fairy, and you are a perfect match for Mr. Lin." Angkor flattered him. "Thank you. Your mouth is so sweet." Song Yuqing laughed hard. "Mr. Lin, everyone is here, let's go in. Wait, there's one more person." "Who is it?" At this time, a familiar and cheerful voice came from a distance. "President Lin, Xiao Wu, I'm here." Angkor turned his head to look, only to see Lu Ma, who was bloated and deformed and dressed in colorful clothes, flying like an elephant. "The person I'm talking about is Mama Lu." Lin Bifan smiled. Angkor's mentality suddenly collapsed. "Mr. Lin, why did you call Mama Lu here?" "My girlfriend and I came here to get in and out, and it's not good for you to be alone. So I thought about calling Lu's mother to get you a pair. Isn't it a surprise?" Lin Bifan smiled brightly. Angkor. "Oh shit. This is not a surprise. It's fright. Don't thank me, our goddess are all living Lei Feng." Angkor. "I thank you all." At this time, Lu Ma had already run to the front of the crowd. "Mr. Lin is good. Mr. Song is good. And Xiao Wu, you are also good." Lu Ma said shyly, "It's been 18 hours since I disappeared, have you missed me?" He he. Angkor. "Ouch, I think about it all the time. Let's just live together in the future, my son said he doesn't mind." Angkor. "Vomit, speak. If you don't speak, I'll punch you in the chest with a small fist." Angkor. "Ouch." Angkor, Lu Ma, now is not working time, nor in the company, so don't be so restrained. We get along like friends naturally. Lin Bifan waved his hand. "Now that everyone is here, let's go in." Having said that, Lin Bifan naturally took Song Yuqing's little hand. Angkor naturally was held by Lu Ma. Two couples walked into the old street together. Lin Bifan and Song Yuqing walked ahead hand in hand, as if a pair of beautiful people. Angkor and Lu Ma walked behind hand in hand, as if a mother and son. Angkor shook his hand and found that Lu Ma's hand could never be used, so he said helplessly, "Sister Lu, can you let go of your hand first, everyone is watching." Mama Lu smiled shyly, and said in a coquettish manner, "I was called baby before, but when I got it, you called me Sister Lu, I hate it." Angkor. "Ouch. Didn't you call me Sister Lu? It was in the office, and I felt a little embarrassed, so that's why I asked you to call me that. There's no one left now, you can go back to the old name and call me baby." Angkor. "Ouch, but Mr. Lin is in front." At this moment, Lin Bifan turned his head back and said narrowly, "Brother Wu. Call if you want, don't worry about my feelings." Angkor. "Xiao Wu, hurry up and call. If you don't call me, I'll be angry," Lu Ma insisted. Angkor. "Ouch." At this time, in order not to disturb Angkor and Lu Ma, Lin Bifan and Song Yuqing went a little further. Then, stop in front of a small vendor. Song Yuqing fell in love with a pair of exquisite bronze wares, which had the breath of time, and wanted to buy them. The stall owner immediately gave a thumbs up when he saw the business coming to the door. "Miss, you have good eyesight. This pair of bronzes is from the Western Zhou dynasty. It is a cup of wine used by husband and wife to drink, and the value is very high. The two wreaths are intertwined, which means happiness. 100 years of harmony. Since you were my first customer today, I only charge you 88,000 for auspiciousness." However, Song Yuqing hesitated. Although she likes this pair of bronze wares very much, she heard that people here are all swindled and sell fake goods. If you spend money unjustly, you will be taken advantage of. Angkor saw the opportunity and rushed up immediately. "Boss, you can really blow it. If this pair of bronzes really belonged to the Western Zhou dynasty, it could not be only worth 88,000, at least add 3 more. The boss looked as usual. This is indeed not from the Western Zhou dynasty, but from the Ming dynasty 500 years ago. Someone imitated the bronze ware of the Western Zhou dynasty to create this pair of wines, and it is an antique. I charge 88,000, right? Angkor sneered softly. Boss, you are really joking. From my point of view, your pair of bronzes are not from the Western Zhou dynasty, not from the Eastern Zhou dynasty, but from last week. They come from the small commodity city, and they have been aged and the cost price does not exceed for 10 yuan. You actually sold 88,000, which is too pitiful. The boss's expression finally changed. It seems that you are a connoisseur, little brother. You don't cheat your own people. 50 yuan for a pair. You can take it if you like. After all, I also have to charge a resale fee. 50 yuan is not expensive, I bought it. Song Yuqing paid the money readily and picked up the pair of bronze wine glasses. Lin Bifan looked at him differently and gave Angkor a thumbs up. Brother Wu, it seems that you are really an expert in this field. You can even see it from last week. It's so right to find you. Angkor was overjoyed and said humbly, Mr. Lin has won the prize, it's nothing. Lu Ma also looked at it differently and said admiringly, Xiao Wu, you are really amazing, I love your little friend to death. Angkor. Vomit. Next, Angkor frequently showed his talent and ability in appraising treasures. He can always see the origin of these old objects at a glance, expose the scam of the stall owner, and let Lin Bifan and others avoid stepping on the pit, which is appreciated by Lin Bifan. Good boy, I really have you. Angkor saw that the time had come, and took the opportunity to say, Mr. Lin, you can't find good things outside. Those are all fake. To deceive tourists, you can deceive a wave. You mean, we can only buy real antiques by entering the store? Angkor shook his head. Even if the ones sold here are basically fake, no one will show you good things. Only if you show your level, they will show you good things. However, they won't tell you if something is true or false. Everything depends on your level. Many masters have a time to punch. Song Yuqing shook her head. In the antique industry, the water is too deep. Fortunately, we brought Brother Wu here today. Lin Bifan patted Angkor on the shoulder with a smile. Brother Wu, the next step is up to you. I believe in your strength. Angkor said happily. Thank you, Mr. Lin trusts me. I will definitely live up to my trust. At this time, Lin Bifan pointed to a store and said, that store looks good. Let's go check it out first. Angkor was overjoyed. This shop was his and Fatty Wang's shop. No excuses were made to lead them over. In less than a moment, Lin Bifan and others walked into the antique store. A tall young man stepped out. This person, Fatty Wang, Angkor's best friend, came out pretending not to know him, and said with a smile, Welcome everyone. Feel free to watch. Before he could finish speaking, his eyes popped out. Behold! What did he see? He saw his best friend Angkor holding the hand of an old woman. This old woman looks over 50 years old, bloated and out of shape. Fatty Wang was very puzzled, never heard that this brother has such a relative or friend. And this 223-year-old woman actually had a sweet smile on her face, and her face was full of peach blossoms. What is this situation? At this moment, Angkor was really embarrassed to death. Seeing this situation by one's best friend is comparable to the scene of a large-scale social death, isn't it? So he whispered, Sister Lu, can you let go of your hand first, I'm going to start working. Lu's mother refused to obey again, and said in a sullen voice, I don't think so. Angkor. Ouch, Fatty Wang. Ouch, cough cough. Angkor coughed, reminding Fatty Wang to pay attention to his image and not screw it up. Lala. A few guests, please come in. Do you want to sell something, Wenwen or old items? I am the biggest store on this street, and there are all kinds of good things. Fatty Wang introduced it, but his eyes were always on Angkor and Lu Ma from time to time. I am very interested in antiques. Take out all the good things in your store. By the way, let me tell you, my brother is an expert in this field, don't try to fool us. Lin Bifan pointed to Angkor Road. What about her? Fatty Wang turned to Lu Ma. She. Lin Bifan smiled slightly. She is my brother's girlfriend. Fatty Wang. Cough cough. Angkor. Ahem. The tomb robber duo was eaten by Lin Bifan's answer. Lu Ma hummed and lowered her head shyly. Fatty Wong widened his eyes and said in disbelief, "This boss, you are not mistaken. This aunt is actually the girlfriend of this little brother. The two of them don't seem to be a good match. Not even close. Brother, your vision is too small. In the face of love, race is not a problem. Gender is not a problem, let alone age. Do you think so?" Lin Bifan blinked. "What you said makes sense." Fatty Wong was still entangled, but Lin Bifan leaned over and whispered, "Brother, let me tell you, my brother has spent a lot of time trying to catch his girlfriend." "What the hell did he do?" Fatty Wong had a huge desire to peep in his heart. Lin Bifan whispered, "You know what? Just a few days ago, he accidentally fell into Lu's mother's arms, and then he had a nosebleed. I suspect he was pretending to eat other people's tofu on purpose." Fatty Wong. Cough. Lin Bifan whispered again. "In less than 2 days, he was in front of our entire company, chasing after others and shouting baby, and said a lot of nasty love words. If it wasn't true love, how could he have such courage?" Fatty Wong. Cough. Lin Bifan whispered again. "In the end, because I was young and energetic, I couldn't stand the temptation of Lu's mother, and I almost made a mistake that men would make." Fatty Wong. Cough. Fatty Wang's brows were all twisted together. "You know, this is not easy for a fat man with a fat face. But fortunately, it's a happy ending in the end," Lin Fan said excitedly. "Our mother Lu was finally moved by his sincerity and persistence, so she agreed to become his girlfriend, and the two walked together despite rumors." Fatty Wong frowned. "Boss, are you kidding me? Are they really together?" "Every sentence is true." Lin Bifan nodded earnestly. "I even suspect that he joined my company to pursue Lu Ma." Angkor came out from behind and said with a dark face, "Mr. Lin, that's enough, we're here to buy antiques." "Sorry, I was so excited just now that I couldn't help it," Lin Bifan apologized. Angkor. At this time, Fatty Wong seemed to have figured out a lot of things. He looked at Angkor strangely. "Good boy. I said why I suddenly went to work as a cleaner. Obviously I wanted to get close to my sweetheart. If you want to pursue a woman, brother, I will not stop you. But how can you find a woman like that? You can be your mother. Is it because there have been more tomb robberies, and the Zongzi in the tomb have been together for a long time, and the taste has become heavier?" Angkor was embarrassed by the fat man's eyes. Desperately trying to explain that it's all a misunderstanding, "It's not like this. However, now that everyone is there, I can only explain it to Fatty later." Then, when it was time for Angkor's performance, he dismantled a few old antiques displayed on the window, and he spoke well and showed his extraordinary ability to discern treasures. Fatty Wong pretended to be surprised. "It seems that you are really an expert." "Of course, my brother Wu is the most professional in this area," Lin Bifan said proudly. "Boss, quickly take out the good things in your store, and let my brother slap his eyes." "Okay. A few guests, please wait." Fatty Wong took out several exquisite boxes from the store and opened them one by one. "I can tell you," Fatty Wong said proudly. "I bought this from those old friends. They are all really good things. If it weren't for how many friends this friend had, I can't bear to take it all out." "Stop talking nonsense, boss, and quickly take out the things." "Well done." Fatty Wong immediately took out a painting carefully from the box. "This is one of the treasures in our store, Song Haizong's copybook." Song Haizong. I think everyone knows that although he is not very good as an emperor, his calligraphy and painting are outstanding. Especially his own thin gold font, which is one of the authoritative and well-known fonts, very famous. And this copybook of mine was written when Song Haizong was 26 years old. Look at this copybook. It's well proportioned on the whole, refreshing and smooth, elegant and agile, with iron paintings and silver hooks, very beautiful. Song Haizong's calligraphy and paintings are very collectible in the collection world. If you like this calligraphy, it will be sold for 30 million for you. Lin Bifan and others appreciate a moment. Yes, it's really beautiful. Then, Lin Bifan put his head next to Angkor and asked in a low voice, "How is it? Is it worth it?" Angkor said in a low voice, "Mr. Lin, this is an appetizer." "Waste. It doesn't seem worth it." "No, Although it is a waste product, it is very worthwhile to start. Why? Mr. Lin. This calligraphy is actually copied by later generations. However, the person who copied it is a famous artist, known as Mr. Donglin, and is very accomplished in calligraphy and painting. Moreover, the other party is best at copying famous calligraphy and painting. Although the calligraphy and painting of the other party is not as good as that of Song Haizong, it is worth 5 or 6 million. Mr. Lin. I suspect that the boss knows this painting is a suitable product, but he doesn't know who painted it. If I cheat him, maybe I can get this painting cheaply. Lin Bifan patted his shoulder. Look at you. No problem. Angkor stood up. Boss, this painting is a waste. Fatty Wong. How do you talk? How could this be a waste product? Tell me about it. Boss. Look here. Here. And here. Angkor pointed out the fake places of this painting one by one, and talked freely, showing 10 points of professionalism. The final conclusion. So to sum up the above, this character post is a waste product, and someone copied it. Boss, I don't believe it, you can't see such obvious traces of counterfeiting. Fatty Wong. Good boy, you are indeed a connoisseur, and you are absolutely amazing in terms of eyesight. Angkor. Boss, my boss really likes this painting. Please quote the price again. If the price is right, we'll buy it, don't make those foolish things. Okay then, I'll quote a price of 3 million. Although this copybook is fake, it is also an ancient painting. The calligraphy and painting skills are very high, and the collection value is very good. If you want to buy it, then 3 million, which is lower than this. I don't want the price either. Fatty Wong said these words in distress. Things worth 5 or 6 million are actually only sold for 3 million, what a loss. Angkor nodded to Lin Bifan. Good boy, I really have you. Lin Bifan said something only the two of them could understand, and then silently made a wish. I make a wish. The prices of the antique calligraphy and paintings I choose have skyrocketed 100 times. Ding. Wish failed. That's 90 times that. Ding. Wish failed. Until after saying 50 times. Ding. Wishing success. 50 times the success. Lin Fan was very surprised. You must know that when I went to buy rough jadeite, the system only gave 20 times out of practical considerations. And now, there is actually a 50-fold upper limit. This illustrates a problem. The upper limit of antique calligraphy and painting is higher. Lin Bifan felt like he was going to make a lot of money today. So, he looked at Angkor with a smile. Brother Wu, are you sure? This is the antique calligraphy and painting you helped me choose. Angkor immediately persuaded. Mr. Lin, buy it. You will never lose money if you buy it, trust me. Brother, with your words, I'm relieved. Lin Bifan readily took out his bank card and made money. In this way, this calligraphy and painting belongs to Lin Bifan. At this time, an old man with white hair but a spirited spirit walked in under the support of several people. When Fatty Wong saw the old man, he was pleasantly surprised. Elder son, you are here. You fat man, you are willing to take out good things today. Old son laughed. Isn't this an expert? Fatty Wong said with a smile. Song Yucheng asked. Who is this person? Fatty Wong immediately introduced. His name is Sun Zhou. Everyone calls him Lao Lao. He is a big entrepreneur with a net worth of tens of billions, and he is also a very well-known big collector. He has a lot of fun at home. Fatty Wong said enthusiastically. Old son, come and see. Let me know what you see. At this time, the fat man was really too happy. Before his best friend asked him to sell it to Lin Bifan at a loss, he was very unhappy. Earning a penny less is like digging meat in his heart, which is particularly distressing. But now, Sun Lao came to his store. If the other party sees something, compete with Lin Bifan, so that he will lose a little less money. Might as well make money. Sun Lao ignored the attentive Fatty Wong, but turned to look at the calligraphy and painting in Lin Bifan's hands, and said with a smile, Young man, what did you buy? Can you please let me slap me? Of course there is no problem. Lin Bifan handed over the copybook. Mr. Sun was very professional. First, he put on a pair of gold wire glasses, and then put on disposable gloves on both hands before taking Lin Bifan's copybook. Under the light, he looked at it seriously. Song Haizong's thin gold body. It's a pity that it's a waste. Elder son shook his head. He asked again, young man, how much did you pay for this copybook? Lin Bifan raised 3 fingers. I spent 3 million. 3 million. Haha. You made a profit. Mr. Sun laughed loudly. Although this copybook is a waste product, it was copied by an ancient calligrapher named Mr. Donglin. The other party is best at copying celebrity copybooks, and can often reach to the extent that it is fake and real. It is relatively famous in the collection industry. You can make at least 2 or 3 million if you change hands. Lin Bifan and the others immediately became excited. As soon as I changed hands, I made 2 or 3 million, and I made it. Money is so fast. Only Lin Bifan was more calm. Old Sun's eyes were vicious. Young man, you look so calm, did you see it earlier? Lin Bifan shook his head and pushed Angkor out. It wasn't me who saw it, it was my brother Wu who saw it. He has long discovered that this copybook is a waste-type copybook, and he also saw that it was Mr. Donglin's work, which is consistent with your old point of view. Old Sun looked at Angkor in surprise, and said with admiration, I didn't expect there are still young people who understand this aspect, not bad. Lin Bifan also praised. It's really good. My brother is not only excellent in ability, but also has a good character. He has always been loyal to me, and is one of the people I trust the most. Elder son, President Lin, you have won the prize. Angkor was overjoyed. I did this today, and I really got Lin Bifan's appreciation. This more than 2 million, the loss is worth it. At this moment, Old Sun turned his head to look at Fatty Wong, and said with a smile, I didn't expect that a shrewd fat man like you would miss some time. Fatty Wong smiled wryly. Who can guarantee that he will not be hit for a lifetime? Makes sense. Old Sun continued to bow his head to appreciate. Wait. What is this? He seemed to have found something and looked closer. After less than a moment, the tone became excited. This is a layer. This copybook has a layer. Elder son. What did you say? Elder son, have you found anything? Look. Old Sun excitedly pointed to a place in the copybook. Just now, when I irradiated the light, there was a slight curl in this place, and there were some ghost images. Judging from my experience over the years, this painting is interlayered. There's a mezzanine, and that means there could be a picture-in-picture. What is picture-in-picture? Everyone wondered. Sun Lao said excitedly. In ancient times, wars often occurred, people were displaced, and precious calligraphy and paintings were easily lost. Therefore, in order to protect calligraphy and painting, those literati and calligraphers invented a method, and this method is picture-in-picture. Use fake paintings to cover, hide real paintings in fake paintings, so real paintings are not easy to lose. And with the protection of fake paintings, real paintings can be easily preserved. This time everyone understood. That is to say, the painting outside is fake, but the real painting may be hidden inside the fake painting. Fatty Wong and Angkor suddenly had a bad feeling in their hearts. Mr. Sun said to Lin Bifan excitedly, Young man, I have a lot of research on picture-in-picture. I have this technique and can take out the picture-in-picture completely. I wonder if you would like me to try it out and see what's inside. What? Elder son, please. I also want to see what's inside. Lin Bifan laughed. Thank you. I'll do it now. Sun Lao couldn't wait to let people go home and get the tools. After about 15 minutes, the tools came. Sun Lao used these tools to take out the picture-in-picture bit by bit. After 20 minutes, the 2 paintings finally fell off slowly. When everyone saw this picture-in-picture, they all took a deep breath. This is the real Song Hai Zong Thin Gold Body copybook. This post is so recognizable, because this copybook is almost exactly the same as the fake copybook before. However, the words in this copybook are more beautiful, more elegant and handsome, more agile, and more agile. At a glance, you will know whether it is true or false. I didn't expect that the real copybooks are hidden in the fake copybooks, and they are hidden for hundreds of years. Really, it's amazing. Admire the wisdom of the ancients. So, this copybook is very valuable. Of course, the real Song Weizong Thin Gold Body, how valuable do you think it is? Everyone was shocked and excited, but 2 people were dumbfounded. That is the original owner of this copybook. There is really a painting in a painting. And it's a real painting. Elder son looked at it for a while, and said with a trembling voice, "This is the real work. This is definitely the real work. Only the real Song Huizong can write a font that is agile, fast, thin and graceful. Furthermore, this font is very mature, and it was definitely written in his later years. In addition, this copybook has been kept in such a good condition that it has not experienced wind, frost, snow and rain, as if it was just written, and the value is even higher. The value of this copybook is immeasurable." Fatty Wong said in a trembling voice, "Old son, you say that its value is immeasurable. But any calligraphy and painting should have a price, right? How much do you think this copybook is worth? You are an industry insider yourself, and you can estimate the price yourself." Fatty Wong raised a finger tremblingly. 100 million. 100 million. Old son shook his head and said, "It's too low. There was a thin gold copybook of Song Huizong sold at the Subi auction house before, and it sold for a sky-high price of 250 million. I saw that copybook. It belongs to the early works of Song Huizong, and the writing power is not mature enough. And the copybook is damaged, and the price has dropped a little. Just this, it also sold for a sky-high price of 250 million. And our copybook is a work of late Song Huizong, and the writing power is very mature and self-contained. Moreover, our copybook is larger than his copybook, and the copybook is still in such good condition. How much do you think it's worth?" Fatty Wang's feet were soft, and he fell down with a thud. Angkor was also a little dizzy, as if he was about to fall down at any time. The previous Song Huizong copybook sold 250 million. Then their picture is more complete, and it is also a calligraphy sticker of Song Huizong's later works. Isn't it more valuable? That's how they are. Selling copybooks worth more than 200 million for 3 million cheap. The more they think about it, the more they feel bad. His face turned pale. But at this time, no one noticed these two people. All focus on this copybook. I really like this copybook. Every word is art, and every stroke is so perfect and natural. Only Song Huizong can write such a beautiful thin gold body. Old son complimented him. Then he raised his head and said expectantly, "Young man, I really like this copybook. Do you sell it? I will pay 250 million. Fatty Wong, who just stood up, fell down again with a plop. Lin Bifan shook his head. Old son frowned. 250 million is indeed a bit low. I'm totally sorry for this copybook. Let's go. I'll pay 300 million. I hope you can give my old guy a face." Fatty Wong, who had just stood up again, slipped and slipped again. Lin Bifan still shook his head. Sun Lao said again, "Then I will pay 320 million, okay?" Fatty Wang's feet were soft again. Lin Bifan still shook his head. 350 million. Fatty Wang's feet were no longer strong. Only put both hands on the table, so as to maintain the balance of the body. "Young man, you can directly ask for a price. How much will you be willing to give me this font? As long as the price is not excessive, I can consider it," Old son said eagerly. Fatty Wang's hands became soft and fell down again. And Angkor is numb. Heart numb, body numb. I actually gave away fonts worth 350 million? In the expectation of Sun Lao. Lin Bifan shook his head. "Sun Lao, it's not about money. But I like this copybook very much. I don't plan to sell it, I want to collect it myself." If he had just started his career, he might have sold the copybook for the hundreds of millions. However, he is no longer short of money. That way you don't need to give the good stuff away. Keep this calligraphy and painting in your hand. You can also pretend to be a cultural person. By the way, get angry with a certain protagonist, hee. Sun Lao asked again. "Are you really not selling?" Lin Bifan shook his head. "Not for sale." Sun Lao was very disappointed. "Okay, a gentleman does not take people's favor, but I hope you will let me appreciate it for a while." "Of course can." Then, Lin Bifan turned his head and hugged the numb Angkor excitedly. "Brother Wu, thank you for helping me choose such a valuable copybook. I didn't even think that I only spent 3 million to buy back the original Song Huizong thin gold body, the authentic Song Huizong thin gold body worth more than 300 million, haha. I never thought that I could make so much money in one shot. Hundreds of times the rate of return. I have never made so much money playing securities in one day. Brother, you are the best. You are my lucky star, you are my god of wealth. When you go back, I will definitely reward you heavily. Ha 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 ha. Angkor's mouth twitched, and his heart twitched. Every word of this is like rubbing salt on his wound. It hurts. It hurts. So sad. On the other side, Fatty Wong also shook his chest vigorously. 300 million. Just lost like that? Heartache can't breathe. Facing the excited Lin Bifan, Angkor finally pulled out a forced smile. Mr. Lin, you're welcome. This is what I should do. You make money, and I'm happy too, right? Lin Bifan laughed. That's right. I've made money, and I will never treat you badly. Brother Wu. Why don't you laugh at such a happy moment? Just laugh. Angkor grinned. Wow. Why does it sound like a cry? On the other side, Fatty Wong, who was in love with the scene, burst into tears. After everyone laughed, Lin Bifan leaned on Angkor's shoulders intimately. Brother Wu, it's up to you next. Pick me a big, valuable one, and I'll give you a big red envelope. Okay, Mr. Lin. But I'm a little anxious, I'm going to the toilet. Angkor felt that he had to go to the toilet to wash his face and keep calm. Lin Bifan waved. Go ahead, go back early. I have a toilet here, I'll take him there. Fatty Wong followed with hanging on his chest.